I own a 2023 Model 3 Long Range, and let's talk about how much it costs. So of course the first thing that we need to talk about is the financial cost of the car. I bought this Tesla last year in December, and I actually got a pretty good deal on this Model 3. I loaned it out for $58,000. I ended up getting 3 months of full self-driving as well as 6 months of free supercharging, and that's because I used a referral code. However, a referral code really isn't a thing anymore, which is unfortunate because now you can't really get any of the perks with it. But that is how much my personal loan was. It was $58,000 at that time. The interest rate is actually very high on this car. So even though it's about $58,000 for this car, I am going to end up paying about $80,000 for this car just because of how much the interest rate is on this car. My interest rate currently is 6.84%, which is a lot, which is unfortunate, but I am thinking of maybe paying off my car a little bit sooner just so that I don't have to pay so much interest on it. So as far as I remember, this car is an 8-year loan, so I pay it off every month for 8 years, which is actually a long period of time. But first, when I bought this car, I was doing monthly payments, so a full $800. Currently, I'm paying for the Tesla with weekly payments. I find that weekly payments come a little bit cheaper than if I were to do monthly payments. So weekly, I pay $202 for this vehicle. So for insurance, I actually had one of you guys commenting down on my video talking about, although a Tesla is good, the insurance is very high. I don't think that my insurance is so high. I only pay $304 per month, which is not that much for insurance. This is me editing, and I just want to say that the insurance is actually pretty pricey. I had my mileage set on 15,000 kilometers per year, and I ended up reaching that, so I wanted to extend it with my insurance company. I now have a whopping $44 added onto that $304 payment, which totals up to $348 per month for insurance, just because I added more kilometers. I did talk to the insurance about how much the monthly payment would be if I were to go for a 2023 Toyota Corolla. They said that it would be about $300, so the same price as the insurance on the Tesla. And then I also was considering getting a Mercedes too, but the insurance on that was skyrocketing. It was $350, $400, which was crazy. I decided to go with the Tesla because insurance was really not that much compared to all the other cars that I were to have. When I was in the market for a car, I took a look at how much a Toyota Corolla would cost just because that was kind of in my budget, but it would come to the same monthly payment. Of course, it would be less years. For example, instead of 8 years, it would be 6 years or 5 years, but the monthly payment would come to this exact same amount. And the interest rate was also a lot on the Toyota Corolla. It was 6.99, which is also another reason why I didn't get the Toyota Corolla, just because I was going to be paying the same exact monthly payment that I was going to be paying for the Tesla. Now, besides the fact that I would be paying the exact same payment for the Toyota Corolla as I would be paying for the Tesla, there was also another factor. Although the insurance was the same, the monthly payment was the same, there was a huge problem. Toyota Corolla, it needs gas. It doesn't take electricity. I charge my Tesla overnight at home, and it's only $14 to get a full charge 0 to 100, which is why that was the main big deal on why I decided to get a Tesla. Everything was the same, but if I were to go and fill up a Toyota Corolla, it might as well be around $50, $60, which is pretty much what I pay monthly for my Tesla. I've owned this car for almost 8 months, and I do have to say that there has been no need for any kind of maintenance. I did have a few issues where my seatbelt had functioning issues, but I got that fixed for completely free.
No charges warranty. This is nothing that you could have caused, right?
Yeah.
So.
And then my tire did also get a nail in it recently, but I mean, that's not really Tesla's fault, that's the roads. So I have not had to get any maintenance done on this vehicle at all. The comfort for this car, I love extremely. It's very comfortable, especially on road trips. There isn't a lot going on over here, which I love a lot. I was talking about how I was sitting in my dad's car the other day. It's a Mercedes GLC 300, and I just didn't like how there was so much going on here, and there wasn't just one screen that's controlling everything, which I love because I love that one screen is controlling everything. I also love that this car is so spacious. Although it's a sedan, there is so much space. We have the trunk, we have the storage underneath the trunk, and then we also have a frunk. So I do love how spacious it is for such a car that's a sedan and small. I will say though, in winter, charging the car is much more difficult than it seems because you constantly have to keep your car charged because the winter and the cold really takes down that battery percentage, and you do have to pay more for electricity. But I will say that I love this car. This is one of my favorite cars that I've ever owned. I've owned the Model 3 2021, and it was the rear wheel drive. I did crash that. I crashed my Tesla. The front tire was not moving at all. I was just making my first turn, and I ended up hitting the curb right there. Here is the footage of the Tesla. Another car did end up coming and almost hitting the house over there. But, you know, we don't have that anymore. It was a rear wheel drive. I crashed it on black ice. So, unfortunately, that was the end of that car. So, I ended up selling that. And then I drove my mom's 2022 Model Y Performance. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a fan of the Model Ys just because they're so high and I feel like I'm going slow. But with this Model 3, I feel like I'm going so fast. If you are in the market for a vehicle, definitely consider a Tesla since it is a very good car. However, do not consider it if you do not have an at-home charger because superchargers will range exactly how much a Toyota Corolla gas would be. I did make a video on going to the supercharger and charging my Tesla from 0 to 100 and the price was shocking. If you do want to watch that video, you can click over here and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye guys!